Is the FZ07 actually a good beginner bike? I started riding about 4 months ago on my license. I started riding in October of last year.
What do you mean by that?
My first ever bike was a 2009 KLX 250 SF Supermoto. That was fun. It was cool. I'm 6'4", and it's safe to say that the bike got boring pretty quick. So after selling the KLX, I immediately went out and got my 2015 FZ07.
Whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
I picked it up for 5,500 Canadian because I'm in Canada, and it has just over 24,000 kilometers, which is kind of crazy because I picked this bike up in July, I believe, with 20,000, and it is now the middle of September, so I've put on 4,000 kilometers in the last little bit. So me still being classified as a beginner rider, I figured it'd be good for me to make this video because I still am a beginner with an FZ07. Excuse me while I turn this around so you can actually see me in frame. Might be a little far away, but hold on. Okay. Okay, so this is my FZ07. Like I mentioned, I'm 6'4", about 220 pounds right now, trying to lose weight. But as you can see, I look a little bit big, but to be honest, me being the size that I am, I have a 35-inch inseam. But the seat itself, I actually like. It's wide, like it's nice on my butt cheeks. My back sometimes, like when I'm sitting like this, like right here-ish, starts to get a little iffy after about an hour or so. But overall, for 6'4", it's not that bad. So, start off with the basics. For a beginner bike, you want something that ideally is not too powerful, it's not too fast, it's comfy for you, and you can control it well and you feel confident about it. The FZ07, for me, it's comfortable. I don't think it's that bad. I know some people have issues with it, but I think it's pretty good. My biggest concern with a absolute beginner, actually, first of all, let's classify in my terms what a beginner is. A beginner to me is someone who literally just took the MSF course, fresh off of the course, they just passed, they just got their license, they don't have a bike yet, they have never ridden before besides the course. That to me is a beginner. So that's what I'm going to be taking away from the whole beginner thing with this bike. Now, me, I still am a beginner, but I rode for close to half a year before I got this bike. Now, in saying that, let's get into, is this bike a good beginner bike? Hold on, I'm trying to move it up a little bit so I can put the thing on the curb and I can just chill here. So, to start things off, my main concern with somebody getting one of these for their first bike is not the power, it's where the power comes on. These bikes are notoriously good for stunting and wheelies and stuff like that because all of the torque is so down low in the rev range, and it's so ungodly easy to just twist it a little bit and have the front end come up. That would be my main concern with somebody who is fresh off the MSF course, just getting their first bike. I know, like, if you're careful, technically anything can be your first bike, but you're a beginner. I'm a beginner too. I'm just not that much of a beginner. But mistakes happen. Another concern, it's not so much a concern for me because I'm a bigger person, but someone who's like maybe 5'8", 5'9", like 150, 140 pounds ish. This is a 400-pound bike. If you're fresh off the MSF course, those bikes are small, they're light, they're easy to learn on. This is a torquey 400-pound bike. I'm not picking on anybody, but if you're a small person, it might get kind of hairy sometimes trying to handle this thing. I've had a few people who are significantly smaller than me who've sat on this bike, and they've all said that it feels like it's eating them. Dude, these bees. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, there's so many bees. Another thing that I would think that might be a concern is the fact that this bike is really, really easy to get overconfident with. A lot of people say that this is a beginner bike or good for beginners. Which, I mean, it can be. Like I said, it can be. It's just people who are fresh off the MSF course will ride their bike as much as they can. If you ride your bike so much, you gain confidence, which is good. But since a lot of people say that this is a beginner bike or good for beginners, overconfidence becomes a factor for sure. You know, you could push it too hard, might not be able to stop in time, slide out, and then you need a new bike. So overall, is the FZ07 a good beginner bike? In my opinion, if you've never ridden a bike besides the MSF course, I personally would stay away. But if you've ridden bikes before, like dirt bikes, you know, whatever, you've ridden bikes before, then you take the MSF course and you're kind of familiar with how bikes work and how they feel, you'd probably be okay. So I guess to end off this video, I'm going to try to pop some wheelies, which I can't do, but I'm going to try anyway.